You can share my screen. All right, so we're going to break this into three small parts. The first part will be a webinar, which gives us an overview of not only Bamboo for a slide, but also our pricing strategy with some pricing examples for our products, how you can start a trial. Actually, we'll go a quick overview of the product, then we're going to jump into the website to show you how you can start a trial and access the product page, and then we're going to run through a demo of the product showing all the core features as well as the new features that have been added in the latest release. I will say that latest release is slated to be uploaded by the end of this month at the latest. We're just going through some final touches on that release before we push it out to our storefront. But you'll see that those features as separate to what we're showing today. All right, so let's get started and take a look at Knowledge Base by Bamboo for SharePoint Online. Okay, so who is SharePoint? So we're a provider of both software as well as services for Microsoft 365, specifically SharePoint, as well as all the other pieces within Microsoft 365. But our products are meant to be used on SharePoint Online. We also have SharePoint on-prem versions of all of our products that we still support through 2016, 19, and SPS each 2022. But today's product we're going to look at is for SharePoint Online. We're a gold partner. We've had over 8,000 customers install our products over the years, and we currently support about 2,000 customers actively through our help desk support team here in the US. We've got both large and small clients. We've been doing this for 10 plus years. We're a team of about 40 folks. And really, we like to say our experience makes us best in class and guarantees a top-notch experience. So we've been developing these SPO products since 2017, 2018. And at this point, they're becoming very mature, very stable, things you would naturally expect, but are also very difficult to do in SharePoint Online, right? How do you scale this over 6,000 articles? How do you scale what happens with the product across, 2,000 users? How do you make a very rich experience using the framework that SharePoint provides to us to do the development on? Which brings up an interesting point. Our product architecture is reliant on your SharePoint tenant. So it is software that is installed into your SharePoint tenant and utilizes what we call the SPFX or SharePoint framework to do what it does. Now that is the preferred way that Microsoft wants third-party vendors to create products and enhance the capabilities of SharePoint. The products are available through our website or through the Microsoft App Store, and the purchase comes with first-year maintenance. It is important to note that these are not add-ins. We've seen a lot of dialogue that add-in support in SharePoint will be going away in 2026, but these products are actually SharePoint framework solutions and therefore are the preferred method and supported ongoing method for Microsoft to support third-party applications. So that means that this SPFX functionality complies with the SharePoint security and rules. You add the products to your app catalog in the tenant. You add those apps then to a page in SharePoint Online. You configure it against your data sources, and then the customers access that product through the browser. Presenter mode was turned off. Oh, all right. Can you all see me? I guess you can. Let me just see how I can get this to be a little bit better. Layout. We're going to go here. Does that work? Okay. Regardless. So that's a little bit of our SharePoint architecture. So since the products are not a SaaS product, a PaaS product, or something that's surfaced in SharePoint, but actually runs in your tenant, we pass all of the security requirements typically by your security and risk group because there is no support, touchback, or services required from Bamboo as a company to support the products running in your tenant. All right. Next slide, please. Licensing and support. All right, licensing can get very complex these days, especially with all of these softwares as a service. It's all per user per month. It's all pay as you go, pay as you expand, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we don't do that. We have a single price per product per SharePoint tenant. So there is no subscription, there's no per user pricing, there's no monthly pricing. It is the old classic license and maintenance model. So once you buy it, the product that first year includes the perpetual license to the product and support and upgrades for the first year. You can then put that product on unlimited site collections everywhere within your tenant. That maintenance is included, as I said. The support and upgrades, we have human support here in the US, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 p.m. That support is supported through Zendesk. It is really great support. We get great feedback on it, and we make sure that you stay up and running or have any questions how the product used, need walkthroughs, installation help, or upgrade help, and the like. Speaking of upgrades, they're not automatically upgraded. We do put out a monthly newsletter that talks about a new release of one of our 27 products for SharePoint Online. What's in it? You can then go to your Bamboo account, download the upgrade, and install it to your app catalog, test it in a specific site collection if you'd like, and then push it out to your enterprise. So very easy to do, but it is controlled by you. Second year maintenance is 22% of that first year purchase price. So if let's say a product is $3,000, your second year would be roughly $600 and change, right? 22% of that to continue your support and maintenance. If you're a larger customer, we do have an additional support fee called an enterprise support fee. So if this is over 2,000 users in your SharePoint site, we've got a fee that covers 2,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to, I'm going to say 100,000. And then anything over 100,000, there might be an additional. We'll see in a second. Also, we do support bundled pricing. So if you want more than one product, which we see a lot of customers do, these are very low cost, high value solutions. You create your own bundle of products and receive a multi-product discount as long as you have more than two. If you are a small business or a not-for-profit, so a small business is any company that's got less than 100 users, or if you are a small not-for-profit, that is any not-for-profit with less than 300 users, you can buy our products for the maintenance-only cost. That means that 22% that you would be paying in the next year, that's $600 instead of $3,000. That would be your first year license and maintenance cost, and then your maintenance would be the same moving thereout. We'll show you an example of that. We also have not-for-profit education government discounts as well of roughly 10%. So let us know if you fall into that category. You are a large not-for-profit. Here's that enterprise support cost. Now, again, this is per account, not per product. So once your account has enterprise support, for example, you're a tier 2 account between 2,000 and 10,000 users, that $2,500 is one time yearly, even if you have 5 products. So you don't apply it to each product, right? The product maintenance is always the same. And then where we see the 10,000 to 100,000, then over 100,000. If you're right on the cusp, let us know. We like to work with our customers. If you're 2,100, maybe we can work something out there and the like. So here's some examples, right? So Calendar Plus, or one of our products, is $4,000, $3,995. So if you're 1,000 users, so you're under the 2,000, your cost first year is $3,995. Second year optional maintenance to get your support and upgrades is $878.90. So pretty straightforward. Let's say you're over that 2,000, you're at 5,000 users. And you've got 2 products. So the first product, the first thing is you would buy that enterprise support for $2,500. The first product would be $39.95. The second product would be $18.50, which means your first year cost would be $8,340 before any discounting, right? In year 2, when the maintenance renewal comes out, which is again optional, you would pay that enterprise support cost and then the maintenance fee of $878 and $407, which is 22% of each of these numbers. So your renewal would be $3,700, right? So as you add product, you don't incur additional enterprise support costs. Again, that is by account, not by product. All right. Similarly, if we go to a small customer, let's say we got a not-for-profit with 280 users, that's under the 300. So instead of the $39.95, you would pay $878 in year one, and then your renewal would also be $878 a year. If you're a corporation with just 50 users and you've got two products, again, they would just be reduced down to the maintenance cost. And it's just showing that your maintenance is the same as your first year cost. That's what we're trying to show here. It's not your maintenance is discounted as well, but it is still that 878 and 438 in the case of the second product, Tabify. All right, pretty straightforward. Tried to make it simple, but of course, everything needs an explanation. We also have I think 6 at this point, SharePoint consultants or Microsoft 365 consultants. And we do migrations. So if you acquire a company and want to migrate their tenant into your tenant, if you want to move from GoDaddy to Microsoft, or you need to move into the GCC or GCC High because you're part of the Defense Industrial Base, we can help you out that on the migration side. We can do administration support, help desk support for your users as well at a very low cost per user per month. And that includes everything within Microsoft 365, whether it's installing desktop apps, your mobile devices and connecting, Exchange issues, Azure issues. You want to create new Teams channels. You want to create security groups. We also monitor your security and compliance score so that we get your through Purview. So we get all of your Defender working. We get all of your desktop security up to speed and working so that you have the best security posture to protect your organization. So that's another piece of what we do. And then we build lots of solutions using the Power App platform, as well as Dataverse solutions, as well as just building internal portals. So please think of us not only as a great product company, but also a company that can help you with services. Okay. Let's move on to the product we're looking at, which is our knowledge base product. So the knowledge base product, as an overview, is a centralized repository for articles in SharePoint. So it's a list-based solution, and in that list are articles that can scale to thousands and thousands of articles. So it's very easy to set up, and it's very easy to manage. These articles are rich, engaging articles that are security controlled, meaning you have to have access not only to the knowledge base, but also to the category for which that article is applied to. But these articles are rich HTML, and they can include videos and tables and watermarking and everything else that you can imagine within there with a great editor that we've added called Froela, which is a third-party editor that we've licensed and integrated in there to really give you a good experience, not only cutting and pasting from Word documents into here, but also importing Word documents using our product called List Bulk Import, which comes free of charge with the knowledge base that allows you to import hundreds of articles at once into the knowledge base. Now, the cut and pasting, of course, is all memory related and issues with, browsers and compliance. So it works great, but I'm sure if you try to cut and paste a 1,000-page article, it's not going to work very well. So we would recommend using List Bulk Import to import that in there. Again, we're using third-party products in List Bulk Import to convert the Word format into an HTML format that goes into Froela. So just make sure you check the work and that it is all organized the way you wanted it to in there. Of course, once it's imported, you can edit the document within the editor itself to make it exactly the way you want. We've actually added support for Active Directory groups for access. So there is a SharePoint user group called KB Users, which anybody in that could then access the articles within the KB. To add users to that group, you can actually specify an Active Directory group now, as well as any SharePoint groups or individual users. Again, we talked about the licensing is perpetual, which means you can actually have as many knowledge bases as you want throughout your organization. So you may want to create a knowledge base for HR, where it's got all of the rules and regulations there. You may want a knowledge base for a product dev team, or you may want just one knowledge base that's centralized that has different categories of articles in there. So we're not limiting how many knowledge bases you want to put throughout your SharePoint tenant with the licensing you have. And then the incentive is that we also provide List Bulk Import at no charge, which is not only great for importing documents into the KB, but it is also a way to move both files and data into both document libraries and lists. And that data can come from CSV files, Excel spreadsheets, and things like that. And that's pretty much what we support with SharePoint Online. And those are things that can be run on a timer job. So you check for a file every night to see if it exists. If it does, grab that data and pull it in. So it's really a neat tool that does some fun things for SharePoint Online as well as SharePoint On-Prem. All right, the knowledge base. It's all about sharing, right? So once you have your articles built and everything's in there, you've got full text search capability to allow your users to quickly and easily find articles, and you can even save them to your personal favorites. The content within the articles, you can actually delegate the review of that content at certain intervals, let's say every 6 months, so that a user gets a notification that they are the reviewer of an article. They can go in, check the content, make sure it's still current, and then set a new review date in the future. We do gather user feedback within the articles in two ways. So as a user is looking at an article, they can rate it with stars, and then they can also add comments to the bottom of the article that may help other users with information they know that could enhance the content in there. Of course, all of that is then notified to the admin group that a comment has been made, and that comment can be edited or deleted and also replied to by the admin. So it's really a way to generate some crowdsourced content to enhance the article in there. This is meant to be internally facing, so hopefully, our team members are providing valuable insights. We also provide some search analytics so that you can monitor what your users are searching, what results they got from the knowledge base, and what they actually clicked on. We keep 60 days worth of that data because it gets big fast. And we've just added the ability to export that to an Excel spreadsheet as well to store it for archival or to build some pivot tables. So that list bulk import integration we talked about, so that is a desktop product. It sits on your computer, and you point it at a folder full of Word documents, right, that you've created. So instead of editing documents in the KB, you can have your authors edit them in Word and then use list bulk import to import them into the knowledge base, right? When you import it, you assign all the metadata such as the reviewer, the published date, the expiration date, the tags, and the categories are all set for that one or that group of files that you want to import at once. So in addition to the knowledge base, there is another web part called KB Lite that comes with the product. And what KB Lite does is it's a trimmed down version of the knowledge base solution that you can put on other pages within your tenant that point to the one repository. So if you wanted to surface your knowledge base on a team site somewhere else and allow people to search it quickly without having to navigate to the knowledge base, you would put KB Lite, and that provides a nice little window that's searchable into the knowledge base that you have on another site. Okay, let's talk about the new features that we're also going to go through today in this October release. It's almost out. I was kind of hoping it would be, but it's not quite there. We'll let you know via email when it is available on Shop for Download for demos. Some of the updates we have is we're allowing the administrators to show hide columns in the grid. So the grid is the article grid that shows the article title, the tags, the categories, a short description of the body, and a couple other things. Well, you can actually now show or hide the grid columns, so you can trim it down if some of those columns aren't pertinent to you. You can reorder the columns in the grid, so if you wanted published date to be first, instead of at the end, you can do that. And then you can change the default sorting of the articles in the grid to any column, and you can choose whether you want that ascending or descending order. So we'll show you how that works. We've created a new larger full page article view. So when you go into an article, you'll see the ratings at the top. You'll see a section of the body with a scroll bar. And then at the bottom, you'll see the attachments, related articles, and comments. When you're reading the article, we heard that users kind of want to be able to have a more immersive experience. So we created a larger view of that article, and now we've created even larger than before because the feedback was very positive and they just want more real estate when they're reading a big article, right? So we're giving the users a fuller, more immersive experience with a new full page view that covers the entire browser window. The categories are ways to group groups of articles together. So categories and searching working together allow users to find articles very easily. Now we're allowing users to multi-select categories. That meaning they can choose more than one category. They're joined together in an or statement, and then you see the articles that are related to category 1, 3, and 8, if that's what you're looking for. The search used to search tags, categories, titles, and bodies. We do have the ability to add attachments to articles, and we're now searching the attachment titles in the search and advanced search. Now, existing customers that have a repository, that feature will not work because we had to rework the way the attachments were managed. If you want that attachment search to be added to an existing KB library, give us a ring. We'll show you how we can upgrade that. You have to do some manual stuff to upgrade that specific list, but also preserve your attachments, and it's sort of an export and import kind of thing. But for new customers, when you create a new repository with this product, the attachment search works immediately and forever forward. So that is actually an architectural change that was made. Again, the KB user group for supporting Active Directory groups is now available. And we have a new advanced search. Actually, we brought back advanced search, but we're doing it a completely new way. So advanced search is the new implementation of a fuzzy search library to allow users to use near miss searches or word order, like instead of fuzzy logic, you type in logic fuzzy, right? And other ways that find information when a user is not sure what they're looking for. So if in the full text search and the categories you don't find what you're looking for, you can use advanced search to search, and we will find within a certain parameter range words that are transposed, letters that are transposed, misspellings, or other things that provide maybe a more comprehensive result than exact matches on the main grid. We are going to provide in the admin section, this is something that we're working on that came out of our beta tester for this release, which has delayed it, the ability to actually tweak the settings in fuzzy search as an admin. So if you want to be more exact in what it returns or more broad, or certain permutations of things the fuzzy search is looking for, you want to include or exclude, you'll be able to adjust that and refine that within your knowledge base for your users. We did a bunch of bug fixes as well. So again, we added the AD groups and the KDME admin and KB user groups. So they're now supported in both. It was just the KB admin. I'm sorry, the KB user group. It is now also in the KB admin. So we can add those Active Directory groups. We've added searching in the questions body. So we have a Q&A section within it that you can turn on or off. If you do turn it on and people ask questions and there are answers and answers that are verified, you can go ahead and users can now search the body for those questions. We found that when you delete an attachment as an author, it wasn't going to the recycle bin. So we figured out what was going on with the SharePoint framework on that. And we now will be sending those attachments, if they're accidentally deleted or purposefully deleted, into the recycle bin so you can recover them if you didn't mean to delete it. We fixed, there was some menu within the knowledge base that was overlapping on the with the SharePoint menu. So we did some stylistic stuff. We had a label in the search that said no data found if it didn't find a match in the title, because there's some intelligent typing. That was a little misleading because that data could still be available in the body. So now we, if no data is found, we put the term up, press enter to search. And then we put the export button on the analytics as well. So some pretty neat things that we've added in here. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick tour of the website, and then we'll move to a demo of the product. And by the way, if there's any questions, it looks like there might be. I assume full text search within the attachments. No, full text search within the attachments is not supported. So the attachments are actually put into a document library that's attached to the article, so they're separate. Our search is just searching things that we have controlled in that list. We haven't really found a way to search the attachments off in the side in there. The attachment order will be the order in which they are in that document library, but the search itself does not search the attachments and the like. Bulk import support KB articles that are currently in HTML. So if they're currently in HTML, you can, we've had customers be able to move that HTML into the list using list bulk import rather than the Word to HTML converter. So there are ways that we can help you move that stuff from HTML into the bodies of the HTML list. So it's just a list, right? And it should work. We've had customers that do it. So I would say test it with some of yours and off you go. Calculate number of users. Yeah, E1, E3, E5. So it's It's something that we have a gentleman agreement on in terms of an agreement on in terms of SharePoint users. Because a lot of times you've got a lot of SharePoint users, but they don't really access SharePoint. So, like students or things like that. So you can just let us know, yeah, there's 3,000 people in our SharePoint tenant, but really there's only 800 people in corporate that use it or something like that. Just let us know and we'll figure that out for you. Okay. So I'll go ahead and mark those as thumbs up answered. And, is there a new post? Yes. If you use an AD admin group, does the feedback go to all of them? That is correct. The admin group, everybody in the admin group gets the emails at this point. We hope to refine that at some point, but right now, the admins all get the emails if a feedback was added to an article. Attachments in the article will show not in alphabetical order. They are in the order in which the view in the document library is the way they are. So you can change that order or something like that, and that's the way it'll show in your article. Within attachments is not supported. Searching bulk import KB articles that are currently in HTML. So we've done those. Awesome. I see how this scrolls. It scrolls that way. Excellent. Thanks for those questions. All right, let's take a look first at our website. So here we are at bamboosolutions.com. Yep. And under the products here, actually, we can see there's our services team. Here's our migration team. Here's how you access support for your products. And here's your account that will be created when you download a product that you can get your updates or buy or manage your licenses and the like. But products, the blue products are all the SharePoint Online products. The green products are all the SharePoint On-Prem 16, 19, and 2022. If we, I always do that. If we come over here to the blue product and click the View More, you'll see all 26, I believe, or 27 products that we have for SharePoint Online. So we've got great calendaring, we've got an image rotator, charting, data viewer, we've got a directory that builds off of Active Directory, and there's our knowledge base. There's our list bulk import. We've got a great list rollup product. We have a new org chart product, both a free and a paid version. We've got a Kanban board, a newsreader, some searching, tabbing of web parts, tree views, and the like. But we're going to focus on knowledge base. On the product page, on each of the product pages, we do have the user guide as well as information about the product. So on this, we've got some key features. We've got a little demo of it. We've got the integration of list bulk import and how that works here. We've got a feature list, and then the product and its pricing. So we see here the product is $9,338.10, very specific. That is the perpetual license and first-year maintenance. And then second-year maintenance is 22% of that. There are links here for small business pricing that we just spoke about. And then down here, if you're over 2,000 users in SharePoint, then you would click here for the enterprise support. Okay. If you want to trial KB, you can click the Try Buy button down here in the lower left-hand corner. Simply add the trial license to your cart. And without a credit card needed, you'll build your account. You'll get the package, you install it to your app catalog, and off you go with that. So pretty easy to do, all self-service. All the release notes are located here as well. And obviously the October has not been released, but that will be updated with the October release notes when they come out. Okay, let's take a look at the product itself. Okay, so here we are in a SharePoint Modern site. And on the left within the window is the navigation. So we're looking at the home screen now. We've got a dashboard, tag cloud, our new advanced search, our questions. And all the users in the KB user group will just see those icons. If you're part of the KB admin group, you will also get the manage article questions, categories, and templates, the analytics, and then some setup stuff. So these bottom 4 or 3, I don't know if this one shows. This is just the about. It must be just the admins then. See these top icons, and then the rest are for the admins as well. In the main article area, we've got a couple things. One, as the logged in users, you do have notifications. So if you're a reviewer, your notifications would be there. You do get an email that you are a reviewer, or you can look at the manage articles, articles for review, and look for your name in the articles there. So there's a couple ways. We don't actively send you an email the day your review date comes up, but this is a date in a list that you could create a Power Automate workflow off of if you wanted to. Since we don't have timer jobs, it's very hard for us to send notifications on a certain date unless you use Power Automate, and we don't want to develop that Power Automate for you. Okay, so we've got this nice little bell notification and the like. Now in the article body, here's the grid. We've got a full text search and categories. So these work together, right? This is a pinned article by the admin. This is my favorite articles that I've favorited myself that I have quick access to, and then I can look at the tags there as well. But in all the articles, I could search, let's say, for tree view. All right, so it will find all articles where the title is tree view and present that to you that's for easy click on. Or I can hit enter or click search, and then it will find across the title, categories, tags, or the body, the word tree. Okay. Now, if I get a very large hit list of articles, I can then bring it down by category. So categories can be nested. They are still all independent. So if I choose error codes, it's not going to choose error codes and licensing. I would need to select both. But it is a way of grouping them logically for your users so they know where to look, right? But what's nice is as I move through these, it's interesting. We still got a little bug in this, Megan. It should get rid of the user manual one and only show me the ones that have the category licensing. So these are supposed to work together. Not too sure why it's not, but that's why it's not released. So if I choose, oh, my categories aren't working at all. That's interesting. Okay, so this is a dev build that isn't working. So what would happen if I choose licensing is it would get rid of everything but what is in the category licensing. And the new feature is that I can now select multiple categories. Hoorah, you get the idea. And then I can click this and bring them all back. Yeah, that's not working at all. Lovely. Okay, now, as an admin, I have access to this icon. Maybe I just have a memory issue going on. Hold on, let me refresh this. All right. I have access to this icon, which allows me to show or hide columns, change the order by dragging and dropping, and then choose the default sort date. So if in my implementation, the ratings shouldn't be here, right? And views aren't important to me. And then this little pop out icon, which pops it out into a new screen I didn't want to have. Let's leave that in there. Let's get rid of tags. And I want to sort by title in ascending order. I can save that. And essentially what's going to happen is we're going to get the title. We've got to make sure that the stuck ones stay at the top. Megan, if you want to write that down. We have a tester watching me do this as well because I always find things. Is that we're now sorting by title in ascending order. So starting with the A's. We have only those columns that I wanted viewed in here. And again, this is a global setting for all users once they come here. Even though it's on this main screen, only the admins can get to it. And if I wanted publish date to be before category, I can just drag and drop that, move that up there, hit save settings, and then off we go. All right, so now I've got publish date, then category. So really nice way to personalize this, save some screen real estate, right? So if you had a smaller screen and you wanted this thing to be smaller, we can do that without having it out there. The other neat thing is that we're word wrapping, right? So we didn't use to word wrap. This used to just go out there. So as you change the the default category or the default column width is going to be based on a smaller number than it used to be. It used to just go as far as it would go out. And sometimes with tag clouds, you can have a lot of tags, and it was just making the column very wide. So we're now word wrapping those. So the articles themselves, once we go in, we can see we've got our rating. So I haven't rated this yet. I'll go ahead and rate it. I can add the article to my favorites, which will put it into that little favorites tab so I can quickly get to it without having to research for it. I can copy the article link to send to somebody. But as I scroll down, right, in here, oops, you can see here is the article. So we've got a bunch of images. Pretty much everything that you could imagine you could do with an HTML could be supported here. And if I go to the bottom of the article, I've got external resource links, attachments, and then my ability to add feedback to this article. All right. And now that is saved. So you can see the feedback is down here at the bottom, time and date stamp. And since I'm the admin, I can edit it, delete it, or add a comment reply to it. Okay, so pretty straightforward. And I did get an email that said that somebody added feedback to one of my articles. Now, what we're talking about in terms of the full page immersive experience is notice how I've only got this little window to look in here. If I wanted to, I could click the full screen and it takes over the entire browser. So I get a much bigger, easier to read, no multiple scroll bars, way to look at the HTML within the article and the like. And then just click on that again, it exits back and off we go. I can close the article and I'm back here in the search. Pretty cool and pretty nice. The dashboard shows just a quick look on what are the most popular articles, what are the top rated articles, what are the recently updated articles, and the recently added articles. Just a nice little dashboard of things that have happened within the dashboard. My tag cloud has two different clouds. One is the articles by number of tags by number of articles. So the size of the font is how often the tags are used, and the little pop-up shows me in 3 articles. And then this is tag density by views. So really, what are the most popular, right? So 35 views for Calendar Plus, support, simple search, etc., etc. Now, let's get to our advanced search. So advanced search is that fuzzy search we talked about that enables the users to really have some misspellings or the like to show results that they may not be able to find because maybe the word order is wrong, or they put a U in behavior or something like that. So what's interesting is I'll go ahead and just search for Tabify. It does take at least 3 characters, which may be something configurable in order for the search to work. So we're looking for at least 3 characters, right, to be able to start the fuzzy search. So you can see we're searching both Tabify, right? And we found it in the tags, but it also found ATI right here, right? Which are letters that happen within Tabify and the like. So depending on how far away in the algorithm, the search, the things we found is a configurable component. So if you want it tighter and more exact, you can change that number. Or if you want it more broad and with more results, you can change it the other way, okay? And the like. So for example, let's say I'm searching for different. You can see I found different here, diff. Let's say instead of cloud parts, I was searching for part cloud. And you can see it's found in cloud parts, it found locate, and it found a bunch of things. Now, the highlighting can be a little misleading, right? It is highlighting right now the first time we see it in the body. It could also exist in other places in the body as well. We're just not going to show it in the search results, but you would click on it to view the actual article. It brings it up. And you can see that we've got the whole article here and ready to roll and the like. So it is meant to find hard to find things in a way that the search here, which are more exact matches, right? You can do partial word searches. But if I were to look for part cloud here, it doesn't find anything because it's looking for cloud part. Now, of course, I could search just for cloud and it will find cloud part, right? Or I can search just for part and it will find that as well. So again, fuzzy search is just that. It is fuzzy search, right? It is not exact search. So it's going to give you more results, but it is a great way to find things in large repositories that we didn't have the ability to do before. Okay, so we've gone through those four. We did talk about the questions. So we've got now search against the bodies for the new questions. So we can see all the questions. We can see answered questions. So here's a new question that was asked by me. It has not been answered yet because it's not there. It is in the unanswered pile. But it is a way to build a question and answers as a repository for your knowledge base. If you don't want that, you can actually turn it off in this little gear, show questions menu. If you get rid of it, it gets rid of it everywhere in the product. You can always turn it back on if you'd like. All right, let's jump into the manage articles. This is how in the admins we can actually create articles, categories, or manage the questions that have been asked within there. So in this case, we've got essentially what looks like the same grid view, but we've got all of our articles. We've got articles by status, which is in draft, pending approval, published, or archived. We've got articles that we have pinned, articles that need review, articles that are expiring soon, and articles by tag. So it's really just a way of organizing this. Now, if I create a new article, hold on one second, I'm going to refresh. I don't know what's going on with my demo here. Sorry about that. Let's create a new article. There's my editor bar that didn't show up a second ago. We do support templates. So templates are simply articles that you create that may be an outline or a specific format that you can then save as a template and it shows up in your template library. So they're nothing special other than they're articles. So if you have a certain format and then you fill the text in, you can create that as a format, save it as a template, and then when you choose it, it brings everything in from that template. And off you go. Let me just make sure we don't have any questions right now. Oh, there is a chat. Okay, so it's just somebody left. All right, so we've got our articles in here. We can add our videos, images, links, the like. You can copy and paste into here, which is how I got that stuff in there. You assign the articles to a category or group of categories. You can add in your external resources. You can choose from your tag cloud which tags you want to attach to this. You can choose whether it's pinned or not pinned. We'll pin it so we can find it quickly. And then here's where you set up your review date. So if I want this article, once it's published, to be reviewed, let's say in 6 months, we'll go ahead and grab a date. We will add, not my son, but me as the reviewer. And then we can also set an automatic expiration date. So if this is really only good through the end of next year, we can go ahead and choose the end of next year. Probably an easier way to do that. And then this article will leave your repository on December 31st. We can leave it as a draft, a pending approval status, or a publish. We do not have any workflows that manage this, but it does move it into the different buckets within your grid up there. So you can add your attachments, and then you can also choose related articles. So we'll just grab one of those. We'll save it. And then in my grid, if I look at all articles that are pending approval, I can see the one that I just created. And if I want to go ahead and review it, I can then say, yep, this looks good to me. We're going to publish it. And then off it goes. It is now in my repository ready to go. I guess I've done this a couple times. Oh, yeah. So here's that little bug. My pins aren't at the top. Oh, well. Oh, let's do this. Publish date. Let's get rid of this. Sort by publish date. And there's 10/16. There she blows. And there's my article ready to go and the like. For analytics, we are tracking search analytics. So we can see in here all the times that a specific term was searched for. What were the results given to the user, the article titles, and then what they actually clicked on. So what we really don't want is something that's been searched a lot that has no click-through rates. Again, all of this data is exported to Excel, because if you're not getting click-through rate, either you need to add an article or you need to tag an article differently, um, or the like. So this is something that we should always look at. We do have only 60 days worth of data because it gets very big. So make sure you export it often if you want to keep a history of that and the like. And that is our full demo of KB. So any questions? Again, oh, the other thing I wanted to show you was KB Lite. So you can see on a separate page, I've got KB Lite, which has limited functionality, but does provide a nice window. It does include the column settings here that you can set, and the categories. Whoops, that's not KB Lite. That is full KB. Oh, here's KB Lite. Sorry about that. The full articles, right? The notification and the categories, right? But it does not have the bar over here to get to the dashboard, to the advanced search and things like that. So it's just this basic home screen that you can embed elsewhere in there. All right. Let's take a look at the questions and our new posts. Let's share screen. All right. Yes, advanced search does push information into the search analytics, just like the regular search. I don't know how we would show the attachments in full screen without making it absolutely full screen. So we'll take a look at that, Wendy, and maybe we'll figure something out, but they are sort of separate, right, than the article body. If you remove organize the columns, is that for all? Yes, it's for all users. We were contemplating putting that there so users can change it for their session. But what we can't do is have the users create a permanent view that they like and store that, because we'd have to store it locally on their computer since it's all client-side stuff. So just for confusion, we took it away for users at this point, but we can revisit that later if we want to add it in, if the user wants to change their view for a specific session that they're working on. Word wrapping is for all fields. Except title, I believe. I think title is the one that will show the whole thing on, and I can confirm that with you as well. All right, we've gone through all those, and that's all I got. Any questions, comments, other than what we've asked? If not, you know where to find me. It's good to see some existing clients on here, as well as some new ones that were on but left a little bit earlier. So thank you all so much. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you all online. Thanks.